Good evening. Good evening. How y'all doing, man? I'm sorry. Somewhere it's good night, somewhere it's good morning, somewhere people just waking up across the world, man. It's a beautiful afternoon out here in Birmingham, Alabama. How everybody doing out there in the world? Hope y'all having a great start to y'all week, and I hope y'all enjoying it. Obviously, I haven't done a video in the truck in a long time at the laundromat washing work clothes. So with that being said, I'm gonna jump right off into it today. I told y'all what leveling the playing field was. Leveling the playing field had nothing to do with signing Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter made a decision. I'm happy the young man chose to go where he wanted to go without being forced, without being coerced, without being done with this NIL or any other deal. He chose to go play for the coach. He wanted to go to the school, but he chose to go play for the coach at the school. So that made sense to me. A lot of people had to fraction that in their mind by saying, oh, he signed this deal and this deal. But a lot of people don't understand is that Deion Sanders only makes like $350,000 a year as a coach. He also gets a bonus for ticket sales for games and season tickets. So with that being said, he was right when he was telling y'all $1.5 million deal. That's more than he makes, and that's the truth. I think until HBCUs get out of this mindset of Division 1 AA, which is the FCS level, that's going to be their biggest problem. If they can move to Division 1 with the restructuring of conferences for hopefully a playoff expansion, then we will see. Obviously, we hear that the Rose Bowl was the trigger point for not getting the expanded playoffs. To tell you the truth, if you're an Oklahoma fan, Ohio State fan, a Clemson fan, or Alabama fan, you're typically very happy with the playoff. But for the rest of the college football world, not so much. So this year was kind of a better year. Obviously, Georgia won. Michigan made it. Cincinnati made it. The Cinderella made it. So hopefully moving forward, we will see more of that. But expanding the playoff, changing the conferences is the goal, and it would add a lot more value and a lot more fun. Now, obviously, I told y'all what would happen. You're either going to adjust or you'll get left behind. So schools that are lacking, we're going to see in the SWAC and the MEAC, if teams are not being relevant, they're going to get rid of coaches. At the rate of the SEC or the Pac-12 or ACC or Big 10 or Big 12, because what Deion Sanders has done, he's going to put so much pressure on these schools to keep up that maybe a team that wins 7 games or 6 games would be considered a success. They're going to get rid of you. Obviously, we've seen a swift blow with Hugh Jackson hiring Art Browse. Now, outside of Mike Singletary and I would probably say RG3, I know Baylor players get drafted, and he had a lot of success, but it wasn't a translation for quarterback pipeline or wide receiver pipeline. So now, with his system coming in with Hugh Jackson, if he stays, they are going to have success. That type of offense is going to be tough to defend in the current state of the SWAC and MEAC just because of the level of talent. Now, I want to remind you guys, and I want to say this, and I want to say this one time only. Recruiting 4 or 5 stars is not the issue for HBCUs. It never has been. Now, I'm not a fan of HBCUs, but if I had to pick a program that I like the most, it would probably be Eddie Robinson's Grambling State. I think that program is one of the most iconic programs in all of football, along with the Tide, or you could say USC or Michigan. Everybody knows, especially people that are my age or older, know Grambling State. So the issue is not the players, because HBCUs recruit players. They just don't get spotlight, or they don't get any attention. Now, Deion Sanders is bringing spotlight, he's bringing attention, and he's bringing endorsements. He's bringing money. This is the key thing people got to understand. I want to reiterate this again for y'all. People complain about coaches making a certain amount of money they're at a major school, they're at a white school, while our coaches can't make this. Well, your coaches can, but you're going to have to pay it. See, the school, Nick Saban does not get paid by Alabama. He gets paid by boosters and alumni. And if you pay attention, if you get your head out your ass and pay attention, you had a guy named Marcus Freeman get hired by Notre Dame. You also have the highest paid African American head coach in football. I'm just giving you a second to see if you know who it is, but it's Mel Tucker. If you pay attention, if you read the articles and pay attention, Mel Tucker was paid by boosters and alumni at Michigan State. School had nothing to do with it. So think about that. When you're complaining, we got to get out this mindset of complaining, and we won't change, but we don't want to change with money. Well, this coach make this amount of money. Why can't I? Well, he can. You just got to give it to him. See, Caucasian, African American, Hispanic, whoever, they spend money with Alabama. We gotta, if you like Jackson State, pay Deion Sanders what he will. Don't wait on the school. Y'all get together and pay him. That's all I'm saying. So think about that. The change is coming. Sponsorship, Walmart, huge money to Jackson State. Different corporations, obviously Under Armour, some other corporations. Now we see that's the level of playing field. Like I say, Travis Hunter to me was not a big deal. I've been following football all my life, and I'm here to tell you, key has changed commitment. Key is flipped. Now, when I was growing up, we didn't disrespect other schools. We didn't throw hats across the stage. We didn't do a lot of props. You sat down, you may have had 3 or 4 hats. You picked up the hat you wanted, put it on, that was it. And all of a sudden, now people I'm going to throw the hat. I'll put the hat on, snatch it off my head, put another hat on, use prop. We didn't do that. We just put the hat on and announced our decision. You had 4 or 5. Some people had 10 hats. Some people had 2, 1, and you made a decision to sign the letter. It's just a different day. But I didn't have a problem with that decision. Like I say, kids change their mind. Kids flip at the last second. Some kids be sitting waiting by the phone. Well, I want to go here, and then they get a phone call. They end up here. So the guy made a decision. I'm happy for him. I know it's big for HBCU, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to hurt anything. All it does is it allows a 1 or 2 star or no star for a bigger program to get. You know, if you're sitting around, I'll give you an example. You sitting around the house and you in Birmingham, Alabama, and let's say you're a running back, you run about a 4.4, 4.3, but you only played 2 years out of your 4 years, and you got UAB, you got Troy, you got Miles, you got Steelman. Okay, about a month before signing day, all of a sudden Auburn called you, Georgia called you. Then Nick Saban called, and he said, well, we think we can add 10, 15 pounds of muscle. We can take an eighth off your 40, and we can put you in position to be ready for the NFL. You get a great education, and you're going to play. Now, think about that. That's all going to happen. The guys that fall back and end up at different places will get a better opportunity because a coach will say, well, hey, I ain't going to worry about this 5-star. He going to HBCU. Now my staff is going to get out and find me a player that may be a little raw. You may even see guys start taking chances. Think about it. Ed Reed was a 2-star. Ben Roethlisberger, if he would have played 4 years of high school, may have been at Ohio State. So that's the only thing going to change is how teams get players, how they recruit, and especially now in this free agent market, that's the transfer portal. If you miss a recruit, you can pick up somebody else. So that's not the issue. The biggest deal now is the platform. For these schools, it's time. Get out of Division I AA, get in the conference, and people say they can't compete. I don't think that's not necessarily true, because once they start getting that revenue and they move up in scholarships from 65 to 85, I think they can compete. I think the NCAA missed the perfect opportunity to show the world if HBCUs are truly ready. They should have let Florida A&M play in a bowl game. They didn't have another team ready. You had several games that were canceled. North Carolina State wanted to play. They wanted to play, and they wanted to try to get that 10th win. They should have let them play. It's shut up. Put it on the field and leave it. That's a Division I program in a Power 5 conference, and we would have seen just how far FAMU is away from being able to compete. I don't think it's they're far off. I don't think Jackson State's far off. Skill position wise, they can play. But really where the game differs is in the trenches. Defense and offensive line. So that's just my 3 cents. Like I say, the playing field is being leveled because HBCUs are starting to get a lot of love. Players are looking at them. Coaches are looking to coach. And that just makes the game better. The one thing, my biggest problem I have is that we have yet to have an African-American owned 24-hour sports network. And I ain't talking about on no streaming platform. I'm not talking about a YouTube channel because I can do that. I'm talking about a real sport. We should have at least 2. We should have one that cover only HBCUs, and then we should have a network that covers sports from professional, collegiate to high school all over the world. The opportunity is here. The money is here. Hell, we don't even own this. This the same argument people talk about why they disappointed because a black head coach don't get a job. I'm not. And the reason why I'm not is because we're not owners. I don't go to your house and you tell me, hey, take my shoes off, and I keep my shoes on. Think about that. You knock on my door, say you need sugar, it's either yes or no. So when you knocking on the door of an owner and he doesn't want to hire you, it's not necessarily racism or discrimination. He's the owner. Just like you own your car, you put the type of gas you want in that car. That's just like me standing at a pump saying you need to put 93 in your car. You like, I want to put 89. So I don't even think it's racism no more. We're not at the table. And until we get a seat at the table, that's when you see change. I mean, if you go out and you buy a pair of Jordans and somebody say you should have bought a pair of K-Swiss, or you should have bought a pair of Reebok, or you should have bought some of these Yeezy, you choose to buy what you want to buy. You go to the movies, you drive the car you want to drive. So until we get owners, let's cut that argument out because we're begging people for a job. They either pick you or they don't. It's the same way. Just making a point, man. But I'm telling you, y'all keep looking out. These HBCUs are going to figure out what to do. Now, obviously, they're behind. And Travis Hunter choosing Jackson State show you it's not about facilities. It's not about stadium. Jackson State plays in the stadium seat 60,000, and he turned down an opportunity to play in a potential place that can hold 84,000. But because Florida State is terrible right now, this is my team. They're terrible, and they have a bad home schedule without Florida, Miami, or Clemson, and Notre Dame coming every now and then. They really don't play any other opportunity opponents that would draw people to the stadium. He chose the right decision. Just saying. So facilities is not always the answer. But HBCUs are going to catch up. They're starting to catch up. And they're figuring out how to generate this money to build. The only question for HBCUs is now, can you build a stadium and fill it up? Obviously, Jackson State's consistently at 60,000. I really think Jackson State could get 70, 80,000 fans. That's where you start to build. But that's just my 2 cents, my opinion. I would love to see HBCUs compete for conference championship and compete for the national title, and I think some of them could win. But the playing field is being leveled, the coaching's getting better, players are getting better, and you're going to have an opportunity to showcase. I can't wait to HBCUs stop giving away the automatic bid for the 1AA playoffs and go in there and play and win. That's the only problem I had with the Jackson State schedule. The schedule's okay, but I just thought that Dion, he may have played a team like they lost to. They only had 2 losses. They lost the Celebration Bowl, and then they lost in the regular season to the Division I program, which they should have won. I thought he would have played another school like that, or if he didn't, I thought he would have scheduled the school that won the 1AA national championship and really show a measuring stick of how far or how good he is. But other than that, I don't have a problem. Probably without Dion, I wouldn't even be having this conversation. but I'm happy for him. I'm happy for those schools. I'm happy for those people that live in those towns that want to support those schools and want to have a school, because obviously anybody know me, I'm going to put the nose in your face. That's just how I operate. So when I see people putting Jackson State in my face, when I see people put A&M State, Grambling, Southern, FAMU, Howard, Hampton, that's a good thing. Everybody needs to respect each other, respect the team they like. But if you want change, you got to make it. And he's making it. And he did it. He's landing big time players, and the team's getting better, and they're going to make some noise. So y'all have a blessed and wonderful day, and be on the lookout. Probably in April for the PlayStation 5 giveaway. And I'm going to let y'all know that more information. If you have not already done it, tap the like and subscribe button. I normally don't do a lot of videos in my truck anymore. I was just sitting here, washing clothes, done this. But y'all have a great, wonderful day. And I'll catch up with y'all later, anytime, anywhere, any place. Y'all just enjoy life, have fun. I'm going to go work out.